2, 1, let's jam.
You're going to hell, Elaine, you fucking stupid
Well, what's
bitch.
funny about Putty, too, is like he's one of the more memorable characters. He was only in like 6 episodes, I think.
That's a lot for a character, though, in that time. Like, usually it was like 1 or 2 for them. Like, Elaine and... Or, I mean, George and... Or, I mean, Elaine sometimes had a boyfriend, but usually, like, George and Jerry had, like, a girlfriend for, like, 1 or 2 episodes, and then they're gone.
True, but I mean... Well, okay, I'm sorry. It was 11 episodes.
Except for Susan, but that was like a joke to set up, you know.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Killing her.
But 11 episodes of 180, that's not that many, man.
11 episodes. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Is it?
For a side character? Yeah. For a side character? That's got to be like one of the longest side characters, unless they just became part of.
Well, maybe, but
squad.
of all of her, well, but then again, all of Jerry's girlfriends.
Name another of her boyfriends.
Her boyfriend, I can't. That's what I'm saying.
I think she dated.
She dated Bob Odenkirk.
dentist.
He was going to be a doctor at one point. She didn't date the dentist. That was Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Brian. I was trying to think of his name for a second.
What was his name? Watley. Tim Watley.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to. Some people are like,
No, I know.
Yeah.
My brother still hasn't watched it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
I gotta watch Mad Men too. But Breaking Bad is like popping up in my. I gotta stop watching Instagram. Honestly, Instagram pisses me off
Have you
because
seen?
it shows me old shows that I like and then weird new shows. There's like a Sasquatch show that's in that's like animated. That's from Australia. That's like made in MS Paint or something like that. And I love every second of all the little clips I see on fucking Instagram. Make me laugh every time. I don't know why.
Have you ever seen Better Call Saul?
Yeah. Not all of it, though. Actually, did I see all of it? I got pretty deep. I got to like all the way to the spoiler. You know what I mean? So
To the spoiler.
yeah, that dude kills that one guy who's like totally been fucked over the entire show.
That's like every person in both of those shows.
What's his boss's name? You spoilers for Better Call Saul.
Too late. Yeah, too late for his boss's name. I mean, Gus Fring.
No. The lawyer that works with his brother at the big law firm.
Howard.
Literally
Howard.
Yeah,
That
did nothing
poor
wrong
fucking
the
guy,
entire
dude.
Series.
The entire
To the
Howard.
point of where it was like, you know what I was thinking when
His
his arc.
He was the
was that
nicest
it
guy
was
in
like-
that whole show too. I mean, he did
That's what I'm
fuck over. He did fuck over Saul early on, very early on.
But didn't he do that because he was told to by like his
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, "I'm sorry." I feel like he was. This is how you do. Like, if we could have had a conversation, this would have been different. But like, you got to do it in a tragic way. You know what I mean? Instead of it just being like, "No, I get," and it just ruins. It's just a dumb romance comedy. This was like the way to do it, where he was like, "Oh, dude, I didn't realize, Howard, that it was just like you were in between a rock and a hard place, and obviously you're gonna fucking pick." The older brother over Saul, right? Because Saul's a fucking loser at that point, right?
That, and also it's just, and then it's like they added
his
that
name's
whole
on the fucking board.
Yeah, that too. His name's on the building. But the other thing that's crazy too is that it's like then they add in that little sprinkle of him and his wife, like they're basically sleeping in separate houses at that point.
It's
just like, sad. Dude, what's wrong? And then when he made that fucking coffee for her. Hella nice, and then she just dumped it in her goddamn to-go cup. Do you remember that?
I don't remember a whole
lot. I remember that because it's just like... I
remember that Howard was terrible, yeah. Or not terrible, but like the show was terrible to him.
Oh, yeah. He was just a guy trying to keep it together, and he was just a positive dude, and everybody fucking hated him for some reason. And then
he's a very hateable type of person. Like, if you were to like go into that situation... You would hate a Howard because he's like,
why?
In a percent coming from zero information, he has got everything. He's got the house, he's got the wife, he's got the job, he's got the name on the board. He's attractive still at his age. Like,
he's a healthy guy. Yeah,
he's thin. Being thin is very important.
It is, and I don't know
at that age. Like, if you're fat at that age, you're just gonna get fatter. So anyway, let's not go into that, guys. Come on.
No, but it's just
image shaming as usual.
The thing that sucked is just also the moment when Lalo walks in behind him at Saul's apartment, and you just
That was a
know,
tough moment.
you just know
And I
what's gonna
like
happen.
that actor. That actor is a fantastic actor.
Lalo,
Yeah.
yeah, Tim. His name's like Tim something. Tim. It's like Tim Dalton or something Dalton. Anyway,
Timothy
yeah,
Dalton. Yeah. It's Timothy Dalton. Yeah.
no, Timothy Dalton was
Yeah,
James
that's his name.
Bond.
Timothy. Yeah. It's, he's.
He was. Well, was
May
it James Bond?
strike their heads from their shoulders. That's
Played
a Timothy
by.
Dalton line
Who's he played
from
by?
Shaun of the Dead. Not Shaun of the Dead. The other one, Hot Fuzz, which is like a perfect movie, by the way.
Tony Dalton. His name is Tony Dalton.
Yeah, and Tony Dalton.
Yeah, and Tony Dalton. Anyways, no, he was by far of that canon the best character in my opinion.
Lalo?
Lalo.
Okay. Layla? Lalo?
Lalo. He was
Lalo, Lalo?
fucking. I can't believe
No,
Gus
he had the right swagger. He had the look. He had the.
He was a
yeah,
fucking genius. He knew people. He was a psychopath for sure, but
Well, he's a psychopath. Yeah.
he was a genius when it came to knowing what to do, what people were thinking.
Well, I mean, also, he's a fictional character in a TV show. They could write him to know things, you know?
Yeah, but
I just want to make sure you know that he's a fake person and not a real person.
you know what though? There are real people like him out there.
It's not a documentary.
I know it's not.
I just want to. Better Call Saul is not real. He's not actually a real person.
I know it's not.
Okay, let's pause right there so that we can cut all that little part out. Just making sure you're not. And then, all right, here we go.
Okay.
Action. Yeah. So, Better Call Saul, the TV show, is great. So, Lalo is a great character.
He's the best character in TV.
Character. In TV, interesting.
Ever.
Ever, yeah.
Ever.
I don't know. Bryan Cranston has a pretty good arc in Breaking Bad, I will say.
No, I mean definitely Cranston as far as main characters go. But
yeah, if we're gonna, and Mike has got a great little, but the fact that show made that woman like the bad guy was just such a funny thing that like one of those
the
like,
one from what was it?
His wife. What's her name?
Fucking Skylar. God, fuck Skylar.
Everyone hates Skylar, but it's kind of like people who read Watchmen and go like Rorschach is the coolest guy. They like, oh, you really don't get it, do you? It's like, no, she's the Howard of the situation. She's been fucked over.
Yeah, you put it that way. I knew you were gonna spin that on me, you asshole. But but it is true because it's like it's weird because you root for Walt because he's the guy. He's your guy. He was there from the beginning. You know, he started that way.
He's doing the cool shit.
Well, that was what's interesting about it. It's like this guy in the beginning started to do this for his family. Like it was totally for his family. You know, he's like, I gotta
very
save some money.
altruistic. It made sense.
Yeah, and then he just became the devil, and you still were rooting for him. But at the same time, it's like if Skylar would have just kept her fucking mouth shut, everything would have been fine.
True. But that's a tough one. I mean, goddamn, like, ow. I feel like her brother is the FBI or a DEA.
DEA.
I mean,
yeah.
That's a tough one, man. So.
Well, we all know how it ended. Spoiler alerts: they're dead. Except for Skylar.
Is that how? Oh my god! I was just about to watch the finale tonight, dude. Thanks for ruining it for me.
Well, if you watched just the finale tonight, you would already know Hank is dead. So eat it.
Hank Schrader. I really liked that. That's one of the better scenes. I like the show
one?
Breaking Bad.
Which scene? The show Breaking Bad's the best show ever.
Where they kill Hank.
Yeah.
Where the bikers are just like it's kind of like. I hate to always
Hank just knows.
It. It's the scorpion and the frog. And these bikers are just like, look, hey, we can't like.
They're not bikers. They're Aryans, but anyway.
Aren't they? I thought they were like a biker gang.
No, they're not a biker gang. They're just a bunch of Aryans who.
If there's one bike in their gang, when I look it up, I'm going to be mad. But anyway, the Aryan Nation gang, which I think that guy does have some Nazi tattoos on him.
Right.
They're like, I like that guy being like a pragmatic piece of shit. He's like, all right, well, obviously I got to steal all this money. I mean, shit, blood. But I'm gonna leave you the one
One
bucket,
fucking
which is like
bucket, yeah, $10 million.
$10 million or whatever. And it's like, all right, we're cool. We'll take care of the bodies because, look, we're nice like that. But and then like to go from there to get, Jesse kind of fucked over, blah 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 blah. But I don't know, that the idea is like when he's like, oh, he made his decision like 20 minutes ago, Walt. Like you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, Walt. Like we can't
He's a
let
DEA
your
guy.
DEA brother. Yeah, we can't. We gotta kill him. You called us. What do you think we're gonna do? Talk? Like,
Yeah. Like, never mind. I changed my mind. Like, okay.
But like, there's that level of like smug. Like, what do you think, DEA? He's like, his name's Hank, and he's like, what do you think, Hank? He'd say his name. His name's Hank. He's like, dude, Walt, be cool. I'm gonna shoot your brother in the head, but I'm doing a cool thing right now.
I coordinated the death of 11 people in 2 minutes from prison.
Yeah, Walt. I'm dunking from half court over here. I'm definitely gonna smoke Hank Schrader, dude. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Man, no, that was a really sad scene. Like to watch his friend die, and then to him go down, and then for what would end up happening to Jesse Pinkman would make that scene. He's like, you owed me. Jesse's dead. He's like, I see that motherfucker right there. And that was a nice little. See, the writing in the show is so good. Let's not. Are we just? Is this Breaking Bad? But whatever. For the writing in that show was just like superb in terms of like setting up the next beat and then having like a finale that like tied it all off. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
and then they even did extra, and it was fine. It didn't even feel like it was too much. Like that El Camino movie is a nice little movie.
I felt like it was kind of unnecessary.
It's definitely unnecessary, but I mean, it's just like a little.
Yeah, it was to give some what happened to Jesse. Basically, it allowed.
Yeah, what happened?
And he went through this shit. Do you want to talk about somebody who got the shit end of the stick there?
Well, yeah,
yeah, but. No, yeah, it was probably one of the more well-written shows. I can't think of a show that was better written.
No, it's a nice and tight show. I think,
and same thing with Better Call Saul. I mean, it's the same writer, obviously, but
yeah,
it wrapped it up perfectly. Like it ended.
Did you watch his show on Netflix? I think it's called Midnight Mass.
No,
he has a couple actually. I
think
he's
Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan, yeah. He might have done the house on I don't know, Byleth Hill or whatever it's called. I'm not sure.
Blythe Hill.
And then he did another one, but I that Midnight Mass show was actually pretty good. But at some point, it kind of turned like funny to me for some reason. But then because the last thing I remember is there's like a girl who like the premise is that there's a vampire who's like a priest in the town, and he's like helping people. And, like, so they drink the blood and they like healed. Like this one girl who's like crippled can walk again, and so she like blah 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 blah. They're in a boat, and she turns to the camera, which is supposed to be a guy, and she's like, "I'm pregnant," and then the shit just cuts to black. Like after, it's just a very strange ending. You know what? I didn't make it funny. You need to watch it yourself to make it funny.
I'm trying to look for it. I can't find any show that was a lot. He also wrote Hancock. He was on the X-Files. He did 30 episodes of the X-Files.
30 episodes of the X-Files.
Yeah, speaking of X-Files, did you hear who's doing the reboot for X-Files?
Who?
Ryan Coogler.
Oh, that'd probably be good.
I think it'll be good.
You know what, dude? I'm sorry. It wasn't Jim. It wasn't the other guy.
Vince Gilligan.
It was Mike Flanagan.
It
wasn't Vince Gilligan. It was Mike Flanagan.
Okay, because I was looking at I didn't.
He did all these movies. Yeah. Well, then I take everything back.
Oh, and apparently, potentially, Gillian Anderson may return.
Well, I mean, she's got nothing better to do.
True. Neither is David Duchovny, but I feel like his boy's going to play
That's true.
The Mulder part.
We need Mulder. I mean, you do need Mulder. That's the thing.
You don't need Mulder.
You need Mulder. What are you gonna do without Mulder? You get another Mulder?
You should just get another Mulder. Yeah, you are. I mean, they replaced Bon Scott with that other dude in AC/DC. Um, David Lee Roth
Yeah,
was
but okay,
replaced
hold on,
by,
hold on.
by
This
Sammy
is the
Hagar.
problem I have with like taking an IP that is like older and bringing it back. Why would I watch it if not for Mulder and fucking Scully?
It's not for
Why?
you though.
Who's it? Then who's it for? If
It's
you're
for
if it's not for me, then why are you bringing it back?
It's the
It's
new
because I
gen.
remember it. That's why I'm gonna watch it.
You do, yeah. So that's why they got you. They're like, all right, we're gonna get them.
No.
We're gonna get them, but they're gonna woke it up a little bit. I think. I think Michael B. Jordan's gonna play Mulder, the Mulder character.
I think Michael B. Jordan's gonna play triplets in it, and and they're all gonna be FBI agents.
And they're gonna fight vampires.
There are 5 vampires exactly, and one of them will be a vampire.
But actually, when I heard that he was doing it, the first thing I thought was like, "Oh, Michael B. is gonna be dope as like the Mulder character."
I can see it being actually a really good character for him, but
yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like, at what point does it just become like Men in Black? You know what I mean? That'd be kind of like, because like Michael B. Jordan is he gonna be like Mulder, who's like, Scully, I think I look like I kind of smell like shit. You know what I mean? And I don't believe anything, but I believe everything.
My thing is, well, did you ever see? Because I never saw your boy Jordan Peelerson's reboot of not Outer Limits.
I never saw it either. The Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Because I love that show, like the old show. I
show.
love that show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got some good stories. So I was wondering what he would do.
Nothing is the answer.
But I don't even see.
Actually, I don't know. I didn't watch it. Yeah, so
it was short lived. I don't think it was on that much.
Well, I think he has better things to do, honestly.
Yeah, like
he wants to make movies.
Yeah, what is Mr. Peelerson up to?
He wants to make more mediocre movies.
I just typed in Jordan Peelerson.
Yeah, that's his name. That's his name. No, I mean, I mean, why would you? If you if you could consistently make like 7 out of 10 movies, I mean, that'll make you money.
If you can consistently make 7 out of 10,
yeah, 7 out of 10 movies. Like
the rating, the rating, yeah, okay.
Rating, not like set.
I was just like, what?
I'm taking 3 off.
Hey, we're only making 10 movies this year. Oh, I'm gonna take 7 of those.
I'm only doing 7. Don't fucking make me do 10. No, I mean that's what I'm saying. You can I think people make it with less like successful amount, like 50% of the time. You know what I mean? And then they get Marvel movies.
Well, either way, you make the movie, you're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about studios, that's one thing. I mean, they just throw a bunch of shit. They make as many movies as they can, and then they make $1 billion movie. They've made their nut, basically.
I think that's that problem is that they make a bunch of movies. Now they do the one big movie to try to recoup all the rest of it.
Well, movies are struggling in general in the States. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just like
they are.
Nobody wants to shoot
all the old people that go and kids.
Well, no, I'm not just saying like going to the movies, like productions and like the production companies, they're just not making movies anymore, really.
Well, yeah,
because it costs so much fucking money. Like, there's no movies being made in California anymore.
Well, why would they do that? It costs too much money.
Yeah,
I think I saw something where it was like it's cheaper to just send the production to like a completely different country, like the entire cameras, crew, everything. So just send it off somewhere. You
ever seen the show Psych?
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Shot in fucking. It was said to be shot in, or it takes place in Santa Barbara, but it was shot in British Columbia.
That's pretty cool. It does look like Santa Barbara.
It does. It does.
Looks like a beautiful city, honestly.
No, yeah, it looks great. Like it looks like a fucking cool place. I'm sure British Columbia is beautiful, but. Yeah, like the whole time I thought it was in Santa Barbara, but you know how much money it probably would have cost it in fucking Santa Barbara? Jesus.
Oh yeah, it would have been a fortune.
Yeah. Could have saw
The
Rob Lowe, maybe.
I think that one guy was speaking Spanish at some point. Maybe there's like a
Which
connection
guy?
there. The psych guy, the main psych guy.
James Roday?
Yeah, John Psych.
John Syke, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd use and then every time he'd figure out a case, he'd yell "Psych," and then forget what he.
They missed it. Oh man, they missed an opportunity there. That would have been fucking hilarious. Or at the end of the show, psych, I'm not a psychic.
Psych.
And then cut.
That's gotta be.
And then just cut to black and then go. That's it.
I just remember that show was always like, "Come on, Gus, stop being such a stick in the mud." He's like, "Shut up, Sean. I'm not being a stick. You're being a stick." That was pretty much the whole show. And then it had that one guy who was like a bad guy in a bunch of movies as the dad.
Corbin Burnson.
Yeah.
He played.
I wonder if Burn Notice was made in the same place. I feel like that Burn Notice and like one other show that I can't remember the name of are all like the exact same. They're all like in the exact same area or something like that. They're in the same multiverse or something. They're all canon.
Well, there was the other one too, which was what was the one with the Doctor? USA had a good group of shows there for a while.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the Doctor one.
Where he's on like the Hamptons and he's
Yes.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It wasn't good.
It wasn't that good, no.
It was like, and then Suits too was kind of in that like vague area, but that one seemed different enough. But like, yeah, USA and like,
yeah. What happened? Yeah, they just kind of fucking collapsed because they had a good run. Like USA was crushing it. For Royal Pains was that one show.
Royal Pains.
Yeah, they had
That's
white collar. Apparently, Mr. Robot was
now Mr. Robot was actually a good show.
It was a good show. Monk was another one.
Monk is definitely in that like same. They're all in the same universe, in my opinion.
They're very wow. There's a lot of shows. Like, did you ever see Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk?
No, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Weird.
I like Alan Tudyk. Yeah,
dude, he's great. Yeah, he's great.
Light as a feather. That's a good little scene.
Stiff as a board.
No.
No,
wait. He doesn't say that. You're right. You are right. That is the wrong line. The line is like leaf on the wind. I am a leaf on the wind.
Okay. So it's like Light as a Feather is definitely The Craft, which is one of the best. Which
is they like stab her, right? Or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, they just stabbed her in the face and just went, you're not light anymore.
And then they cut her head off and then fed it to a polar bear.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how that went down.
I saw a video of a polar bear chasing this dude. I looked terrified. This guy ran to his snowmobile and took off, but this polar bear was hot on him, dude. I was like, damn. And then the polar bear just kind of sat down. He was like, fucked up.
You ever hear that story that Joe Rogan told on his podcast about the guys that were stuck on like the ice float or whatever, and there was a polar bear like on another one far away, but he saw the guy standing on the ice thing, and then the polar bear goes in the water, and then it pops up on another one, and it's just getting closer and closer, and then apparently it came up, took one of the guys to another one of the ice floats, and then just started eating them in front of all the other. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah, bears eat like dickheads too. Like big cats apparently will go for the throat and kill you and make sure you're dead before they start eating you because they don't want you fucking around. But like a bear will just like put its paw on you and just start eating you even if you're alive. And
well,
if
I don't think
fucking around. It'll just like it doesn't matter.
Well, most bears, I feel like most bears wouldn't eat you. I just feel like a polar bear would because you're the only fucking piece of food around for.
Well, yeah, polar bears
are
like super predators. Yeah, super predators, just like Hillary Clinton said. No, it's you remember the super predator thing? It was a very racist thing that Hillary Clinton was saying.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. As most things were back in those times. We didn't know any better, I swear. Shut up, Hillary. But no, yeah, polar bears, I mean, you're over there eating 100% like meat. So yeah, you're a predator through and through. You see a fucking little dude.
You see something to eat,
oh.
you do it.
Well, you know how they you can tell usually what kind of animal something is by its eyes. So like a polar bear has its eyes like aiming forward. That's like predator style. And like prey usually has it on like the sides of their heads. You know what I mean? So they can see like around them what better.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You're
Like
making
think
that
about
up.
it like a wolf or like a
No, I
lion.
know. I
All
was
their
just
shit
thinking.
like on the front of their
Yeah,
head
yeah.
and everything else. Like think of like a goldfish. Or like you, dude. Your eyes are on the side of your
My side
head,
of my
like a
head.
chameleon. People can't see you, but right now Oren is hanging from a stick in a terrarium, and
But you can't
he's
see
got
me
crickets that
because.
he's eating.
But I'm invisible. I'm invisible.
Oh shit! Where'd he go? He's invisible again.
And now I'm over
Stop
here.
blending in, you asshole.
And now I'm over here. All right, number one show on USA was Psych, by the way.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Psych.
Psych. It's not. It's
So,
actually.
I'm gonna bring Psych back, dude.
They made a third movie. I didn't. It wasn't that good.
I'm gonna go up to like people at the gym and I'll be like, "Is it okay if I use this?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah." I'll be like, "Psych," and I'll just walk. Just walk.
Got you.
Be like, what the fuck? So, dude, I was killing. Dude, the gym was like crazy busy, dude. I don't know what was going on with it, dude. But like, for some reason, I just felt like twice as strong as I ever was, dude. I don't know what was going on with. I was on some. I think they put in the water. I'm like not even kidding. I'm starting to worry that they've got some juice flowing through that water in there because it's a juiced up gym. It is a. There are people selling steroids, dude, because the girls in there are huge too, like in a way
Seriously?
that's unnatural. Yeah, it's pretty crazy
And are
because there's nothing better to do up here but work out.
but you're attracted to that, so it's cool.
I am. I'm down with it. Although when I did talk to this one girl and she was like, "Oh well, I tried it," and I was like, "Oh okay, never mind."
Well, I'm having my penis taken off tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you can tell. You can unfortunately tell because they have so much testosterone that their voice is deep and super harsh.
Is it really?
And
Like,
yes,
you
it's
got to,
real.
dude. You got to take
I
a.
feel
You got to
bad.
take. You got to take a picture somehow.
What do you mean picture? I'm not going to take a picture of
No,
somebody at the
dude.
gym.
No,
dude.
no,
I'm
no,
not-
no,
are you
no.
insane?
Not of just one
You
person.
take a gun out at that point and start shooting with the, they got a guy who's watching. He's got a sniper rifle.
You take a selfie in the mirror, but it's shooting of the entire gym. I got to see what these people look like. Like New Hampshire's like
well, it's a big gym. I couldn't even get like.
so go to the top and take a picture from above.
There's no above. It's all one floor.
Ask the tallest
I'll get
person.
up top on the stairs.
Ask the tallest person. No, ask the tallest person in there if you can stand on their shoulders and they could while they do squats.
Dude, I had an embarrassing moment because I wanted to do like a free hang to like get my spine decompressed,
right.
and
You
I'm
farted.
too tall for like the spots that have like a easy to access bar.
Mhm.
So the only other option was like a good athletic jump up. And I was like, fuck. And I was looking around and my legs were already toasted. Because today I did legs. And I was like, looking around like, okay, who's going to see me try to go for this jump? I don't think I've tried to athletically jump in like 10 years. So the first one, epic fail. I not epic, but I got my fingertips and then I slipped off. I was like, "Fuck!" So, oh. But then I realized I'm like, I'm a man. I could jump without any problems, and I got out there no problem next time.
Speaking of jumping, not jumping in 10, 20, 30 years. We went and played basketball. Me and my brother went and played basketball with a couple of high school buddies not long ago, like a year ago, and we're all in our fucking 40s now. So we're all, let's see if anybody can touch the rim. Like, just, stand, nothing. We're not trying to dunk. We're just seeing how high we can jump. My brother's buddy gets a running start and he jumps. Shit you not. He jumped like 10 feet, but he didn't get more than an inch off the ground the entire time. He just, he just said, shh.
Hell yeah. We can't jump, dude. It's true.
No, that shit. Yeah, I can touch the rim. Like,
I can touch the rim
with the tip of my finger.
What? Maybe not right now. When I was 200 pounds, I could touch the rim.
Yeah, I definitely can't right now. I'm pushing 260, so not pushing. I am pushed 260.
I'm losing weight. The jiu-jitsu is pulling the weight off, but it's a slog, dude. But I am the stamina's coming, dude. They're not wrong about that. But I'm also being like a bitch about who I'm rolling with because I'm not trying to roll with these fucking
You
white
gotta
belts
go
who
get.
just want to try to dunk on me.
You gotta try to get one of them muscly women
There are no muscly women in this one.
at the gym.
No, actually, that's not true. There's a blue belt that I do roll with, and I feel I can't like go full blast on her because like, well, for multiple reasons. One, I do feel bad, like, because I when I do use like a little bit of muscle, it does feel pretty easy to move her around. But she's a blue belt, so I'm like, all right, she's got some technique to her. But yeah, so she came into class and she had like kind of like a lower cut like spandex shirt, so I could like kind of see her boobs, and I was like, and I was like trying to avoid going for you would be like, oh whoops, but I did. You're like supposed to go for like collars and stuff, and I didn't want to like grab into her like chest area.
I know. I
what
feel
mean?
like
And,
that is that's either intentional or very ill planned. Like if you're wearing a low cut top to a jujitsu fucking
well,
thing,
it wasn't
like
super low cut, but it was like.
it was like above,
Just, yeah,
like where the cleavage would be. Like it would be like yeah, like a Superman neckline, if you will, like the Superman costume.
Kind of, yeah. So, but it still was enough for me to be like, and like you're like when you're grabbing and shit, then like you snag her clothes, and then so I try to go easy on her, but at the same time she's trying to get me because like I'm being nice enough to like.
So what you
let her
do
beat
is
me up.
you wear super short shorts and just
You
let
have to wear a
just
gi,
let
dude.
it hang out.
I'm in a fucking bathrobe, dude.
That is so weird to me that you have to wear a gi. Like,
Well, there's no gi too, and I would prefer to do no gi only.
yeah, why can't you
But
just
the
wear?
gi's whatever.
Why can't you just wear shorts? Why can't you just wear work?
They do that in the next in no gi. You wear like pretty much just spandex.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like you wear like a compression shirt,
Well,
and
and
like
like the
MMA
shorts are like
shorts.
spandex.
They're like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's like MMA shorts. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
yeah. So why can't you just wear that?
because in Japan, in 1,000 years ago in the future, when they invented jujitsu, they used fucking gis. You dipshit.
Yeah, I get that, Mister Loser Japan
And so
guy.
to in honor of their memories, to the craft, we wear gis.
And when you get a black belt,
You know, I
does
did-
a
I did
huge
make fun
bomb
of
go
it.
off there?
Yeah, I did make fun of it, and I felt bad, but like they were talking. So this is funny. It's such a stoner sport too because the
Jiu-jitsu?
yeah, super
Okay.
stoner sport, and so they're the owner who's like this black belt. He's just like you could just get him on any sort of tangent you want. Like his friend came in who was also a black belt. He's like an older guy, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like a or what. And the first 15 minutes of class was literally just him talking, like just like, oh yeah, oh this, and we're literally sitting in a circle waiting for him to start class, like stretching and like okay, gonna. I'm kind of looking around to him like we're just gonna let this happen. We're just not gonna say like, hey, Jason, maybe you want to start class? You want to start, okay, no, jujitsu. You like that guy in jujitsu? Okay, that's cool. I don't know what we're talking about. Like
Your sensei's
very
name
awkward.
is Jason.
His name is Jason. Yeah,
Sensei Jason.
dude. So there was a guy who got his judo like black belt guy to come in and like show us some things, which actually was pretty cool. But I did feel bad because a girl came in too, like an older woman, and she was dropping like the respect shit. Like some places do like oh or like something like that, like osu or like it's a very like I instantly like said him. I'm like I'm not doing that. Like I'm never gonna do that. Like people who like
I mean
bow
when
to
you
the
call
mats and shit like that. You bow to the mats, or you like go, like, dude, you make like a big deal about, sensei, and I'm like,
everybody bows the
My
mats.
night.
You just lift your leg and fart.
I just take a shit. I literally just drop my pants
Just
and
shit
shit on the mat.
Just
I'm
shit
like,
on the mat. And be
Let
like,
me
"Let's
clean this
go."
up.
Yeah.
no, but there's like a now, and it obviously I'm not going to be disrespectful, but like I don't. It's not that crazy. Like I said, it is a pretty chill center sport, and he's just like you can tell he's smoking a little bit of weed before before class.
Yeah.
Before I mean I do it too nowadays, but he's just so it's just so funny to see him. Just you could just talk to him. You could just say whatever, and he'll just go off on like a 15-minute tangent about the subject, and then you're just standing there like, oh, are we gonna do anything? Like,
Does he live in a
you
van?
said we were gonna do this drill. You're gonna show us this. Now we're just gonna forget about. We're just gonna forget about doing that drill. That's fine. So it's kind of like this sport's weird in that you have to kind of like make something of it for yourself to a degree. Like, I wonder if there is a gym that's like hella like structured. You know what I mean? Because I'm not being taught anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just have to be. I just have to pick up what he's showing of the day, and then hope for the best in terms of like a partner later who won't just like fuck me up.
I know it's a weird thing to teach too, because it's hard. It's such a bullshit thing that I feel like you teach with a group. It's like if you're teaching self defense with a group, it's like, all right, everybody team up and do what I showed you just now. It's like, no, dick face, show me how to do it.
That is what
Like,
happens pretty much. Like we split up, and
then he goes
go, like,
around
what
and
the fuck was that?
and he goes around and he shows
his skin. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it is kind of, I do feel stupid that way. So if I get paired with like a white belt, I do feel like I've like lowered my capacity to learn for the day. You know what I mean? But if I get paired with the purple belt, you know what I mean?
Right. No,
It's
you said that. What? But let me ask you this: are you a white belt?
Yeah, I'm a white belt.
Then shut up.
What do you mean shut up?
You white belt. Work with your kind.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
You're already an elitist, and you're a white belt.
First of all,
You're in a white.
I'm blessing these purple belts because I'm helping them by giving them. I'm bigger than most
Hey,
people.
why don't you go? Why don't you just go and ask Jason? Be like, hey man, like, can I be a purple belt?
First of all, that's not how it works.
Can I just get a purple belt? Because these white belts are wasting my fucking time.
They're wasting my time. No. They.
Because I'll tell you right now, even if you get a purple belt, you're gonna be going up against white belts. So
Well, no. I'm not saying that I want a purple belt. I'm saying it more like
you're better than the white belt. Then you're
no.
better. Yes, you are. You're just like, they're wasting my energy and time.
No. I say, and I am saying that, but I'm saying I got to say it in a different way. What I'm trying to say is that
you're better than white belts.
I'm trying to learn the sport.
Yes,
I learn very much less when I'm paired with the white belt because we're both retarded. We're both like this and like okay, and then like this. Whereas when I'm with a purple belt, he's like, oh, I've done this before, so okay, do it like this, and then like this, and so like he's trying to learn the technique and perfect it too. So like I'm pretty much superfluous. He can just use whatever dummy, but like I need him because he can show me what I'm doing wrong better than the white belt. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey, what you should do is just if you're paired with another lower form, you should just go up to them, grab them, and just hip toss them, and then just start jujitsuing and just go at it.
Well, that is what you're supposed to do.
No, but, yeah. So just do it. Just be like, when he goes, you just go, ha ha, and then you take him down.
That's what I do. I did learn the judo guy did show me a good like hip toss thing, so I've got one in my back pocket now.
So just
but
do it. Just
being super useful.
Just do it to one dude, one person. Just one.
I could probably get somebody at some point. Yeah.
Just like when you're when you break off into pairs, just the first thing you do to the guy is fucking grab him and just flip him over and just like, we're going, bro. Let's do this.
Well, so these jiu-jitsu classes are pretty much the same worldwide. Is what happens is you come in, maybe you warm up. If you get there early, you warm up. Is pretty much what happens. Or if they talk for forever, then he walks us through like a couple different moves that are built off of each other a little bit, and then we break. So he'll show us a move. We go off for like 5 minutes, practice the move, come back, do the next part, and then so on. And then at the end, and then after that, we just roll like whatever. And then at that point, you just are like fighting for your life. You
What
see what I'm
was
saying?
what was the
So that's when
name?
I would throw somebody.
What was the name of the last movie you were taught?
I don't know, dude.
Oh, these classes are paying off. Name one move.
Well, I mean, like a armbar or something, like a kimura or
Name
like
one
a
move that nobody knows that you've
omoplata.
learned. Omoplata?
I think that's what it's called,
Is that
but I can't
is it
remember
an
which one that
animal
is.
from Sesame Street?
I think it's a shoulder fucking thing, but it's like with your legs. I
It's a
think.
shoulder lock submission.
Yeah, but like it's different from like the other one. There's it's done in a different way. I can't explain it because I'm stupid, but
I'm,
it's different. Trust me.
oh shit,
Uh,
that's intense. Like,
yeah.
how do you lock the guy's arm there though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to get your leg around
Yeah,
his shit.
basically the guy's got to be face down.
Yeah. So that's what so jujitsu is like chess to a degree. So what you do is you fuck around with the dude in different ways to make him do something, and then you like trick him into being able to do your thing. So like you pull on like a part, like you pull on his hand, then he tries to pull it back, right? But then you use the momentum of him pulling it back to like flip him somewhere else, and this, and that, and that's what I'm saying. So that one, he showed us a way to like lead into that, and it was fucking crazy because he was like, okay, if you do this, then you hip bump, then maybe he does this, but then most of the time they're going to do this. This is when you go for the omoplata. That's when you like roll right here and you grab him, and I'm like, oh, it is kind of cool, but like it does feel like I'm learning like full words when I barely even know like the alphabet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's hard to like then apply that in my role. So that's where I have the problem is like if I go up against a white belt, he's just trying to like attack me. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't know anything either. And to a degree, blue belts too. Blue belts aren't too much better than a white belt when it comes down to it, with in my experience so far. But purple
I
belt,
think you're
that's when
just
the dude is like miles above the rest, and he's literally teaching me things constantly. You know what I mean? Like the purple belt will be like, "Oh, you can't like this motherfucker grabs my collar, right?" And like I'm like, all right, and so I try to break his hand, and I just could not. Like I'm stronger than the guy for sure, but like I could not get his hand off my collar. And he's like, you know, you want to know how to get rid of that? And then he like showed me how to do it, and then on a different guy, I used it and it worked. So like, you see what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck? The white belt's not going to show me anything cool. The purple belt will show me cool shit.
how long do you have to be a belt before you can advance?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I
That's
think that is a thing for like. I think it's a year for the higher belts, if I remember them saying that. But I think you can just jump up if you are showing up like hard. Like you can go from white to blue to purple pretty quick, I think. But I think purple to blue, either like you want a year of fucking some stuff. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know.
I think
But you see,
you're a
yeah,
black
what's up?
belt.
I think I am a black belt, but they just don't know it yet. No, but you know, it's just practice and like getting used to it, dude. Because like I don't know how to use my legs, so that's really like the problem. It's like using my legs in conjunction with my like hands to do cool shit. Also, you
Oh,
gotta get
jeez.
used to people smelling like shit.
Yeah, that's probably why I couldn't do it. Each belt has 5 levels.
Oh, and so that's what got me into some like I kind of thought I was kind of joking, but then like at the same time I kind of wasn't. The guy was like, "Oh, he's a 4th stripe white belt." I'm like, Jesus, how many fucking stripes do you guys need? Just 1, 2, 3, and you're on the next belt. Like, come on. And they're like, "Oh, ha, ha." Like, oh, you 5 stripes? Is that the
You're
thing?
such
Like, were we fucking zebras?
you're such a 3 striper.
Yeah, it's like fuck. What is like first stripe? How to tie your gi. Second stripe? How to fucking pay the guy to take classes? Like what? Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I just want to learn how to fight somebody who smells like shit. That's why I'm here. Why are you here? I
Well,
like
so like,
people who smell
I
like
think the
shit.
idea is that a blue belt should be able to like defeat a larger person with no experience. You know what I mean? I think that's the like weird metric that they use. And then a purple belt has like the techniques down. And a brown belt's on steroids. And a black belt is gay.
He's he's reached enlightenment, and he's therefore a guy. But you know what?
No,
He's a bad motherfucker, whoever it is.
I mean, the dude who's teaching us, who's a black belt, has like 15 years of experience. So, and I don't know when he got his black belt. So, but he
Well,
still seems like he's
apparently,
like working at it.
according to the internet, you need to
Mhm.
become a black belt. It's like 8 years.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought it would take like a decade to get a black belt. Yeah, I'm not necessarily in this to get a black belt, but
I know you're not.
it would be cool. I'm kind of down to do the 70% rule. I'm down to get to like purple belt and then be chill there for a long time.
Yeah, because no, that makes sense.
You don't know the 70% rule, dude.
I don't, but I do remember Frank Mir saying that thing. We talked about it before, where he's like, "Yeah, I used to be the toughest guy in the fucking bar, but now everybody's got at least a purple belt." And
There you go.
yeah, and it's like, oh, okay.
Dude, and a purple belt will fuck you up too. That's
No, I know. That's what I'm
purple
saying.
belt's
Like a
dangerous.
purple belt is a professional amateur, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, they are pretty close to like. And
they
it
can
was
handle
kind of mind-blowing.
themselves in a fight. Is what a purple belt is. Yes.
So the purple belt will fuck me up when we roll, right? But then, and I've never seen him have like trouble because like they're usually the highest belts in the class. But then there was a class where like, yeah, this dude, a black belt came and he was fucking up the purple belt, and I was like, damn, dude, that's like watching your hero get beat up. You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck.
I need
Superman came and made the fucking Batman look like a bitch.
That's not true.
So
because
he does it every time.
Batman is prepared, and Batman always wins when he's prepared.
He sometimes is prepared.
What fighting style does Batman know?
Prepared, huh?
What fighting style does Batman know? I know you know this.
Jiu-jitsu.
Is it really?
Or, I'm sorry, ninjutsu. He's like a ninja. He like learned like ninja stuff from Ra's al Ghul.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
He knows judo, karate, boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga, Savate, Aikido, Kung Fu, Muay Thai.
That's just he's just
ninjutsu and Taekwondo.
Yeah, there's ninjutsu.
You idiot.
Yeah, I'm dumb. Batman just knows whatever the guy needs to know. Whatever the writer needs him to know. That's just how he's I swear we have to do this every day. You know Batman's a fake person, right? He's not a real person.
He's not. He's 100% real.
And I'm just colors on a piece of paper.
I'm just wondering why he's wearing a gi and his mask in this picture.
I was just thinking of that picture. Yeah, there's some
like
stupid. How about the one where he has to fight Ra's al Ghul and he takes off his shirt but leaves his
cowl on? He has his cowl on.
He's just got a hairy ass chest, dude. That's a funny one. But no,
doesn't Ra's know who he is?
Yeah, he knows who he is. I'm pretty sure. At that point, he might not have, but I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they did that in the animated series. I didn't even realize that. I missed that episode, I guess.
They did the bare chest in the animated series.
Yeah, he's fighting him in the animated series, and he's wearing his cowl still. Yeah. It's like, dude.
Hell yeah, dude! Because that's a classic maneuver, dude. You gotta do the classic Batman stuff, or else. I mean, what are we even doing here? You know what I mean?
And why does he have a blue? Why does he have a blue outfit to begin with? Why was it never always just black? Or why wasn't it always just black?
It was like blue and gray.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know why. You know, blue's actually harder to see at night, so you probably should be wearing blue.
So is time out.
What's up?
Where did you get that shit? How is
Look
blue
it up.
harder to see at night?
Because the spectrum of light that you in your eyes can see, blue blends in.
Yeah, it's harder to see at night than black.
Yeah, black absorbs light, so you can kind of see it. It glows, dude. Black glows in the dark. You fucking idiot.
You're a piece of shit. So if he's wearing Vanta black, you can see
Oh,
it.
dude, you can see him perfectly
Yeah,
because he's the dark void out in the fucking dark.
he's so dark. He like
The
black. He
fuck is
stands out.
that?
He's like, oh man, that's a really
Yeah.
really black spot. He must be standing there.
Jesus, that's a man wearing Vanta black. Get him.
So if he was wearing navy blue,
Navy blue, I think. Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. I heard it somewhere on like
Some of
a
this
talk
shit
radio
just sounds
show.
stupid.
Some of it just sounds good. It just sounds like you. And then when you say things, you sound smart.
Yeah.
People don't know you're not smart, but you sound smart. See?
Like, did you know
You
that
gotta work on
horses
that, dude.
sweat through their eyelids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that. I don't think you knew that actually. I think you looked that up just now.
No, I totally knew that. I was the one who discovered that.
No, you're not, dude. You're not.
I was
Alfred
I was
Schlesinger.
hanging out with this horse,
Yeah.
and he was like,
No,
"Dude, I'm
no,
sweating," and I'm like, "Yeah, I could see your through your eyelids, right?" And he's like, "Yeah."
No. You're not Alfred Schlesinger, the first horse jockey that discovered sweat
You're
in
not.
all human forms.
Who's Alfred Schlesinger?
I just told you who it was. You're not listening. So let's move on. You see, you were not paying attention in history class when they explained Alfred Schlesinger.
Yeah, I don't even know.
When we,
I know
yeah,
who-
we stole him from. He was the foremost Nazi scientist on horse science.
on horse sweating. On
Yeah,
horse
so
eyelids.
in
He
Operation
knew
Paperclip. We took him too.
we needed horse eyelids.
We got a German scientist who knows horse eyelids sweat like the back of his hand. We're like, get him over here. Truman was like, get that man over here. I want him on the Manhattan Project. And then he Oppenheimer looks over. What the fuck is that horse doing here? Oh, don't worry about it. That's Schlesinger, dude. He knows his stuff, dude. Don't talk to him like that, Oppenheimer.
You want to hear?
Why don't you go fuck around with Florence Pugh?
Here's
The most
I will
talented actress of all time.
absolutely fucking around with
Anyway,
Florence Pugh, given the chance. Sloth farts. They fart out of their mouths, their butts.
Okay, anyway, so speaking of Florence Pugh, I saw Thunderbolts. We're not talking about sloth farts again, Oren. This is not the
I'm
time.
sick and tired of talking about
I had
sloth
a good
farts.
segue with Florence Pugh, so I'm taking it.
Okay.
I didn't think about it until afterwards. But Florence Pugh leads the ragtag team of Thunderbolts star team. Florence Pugh is like bearing her pearls before swine, dude. You ever?
What?
She is too good to be fucking in these movies. You know what I mean? So is Sebastian Stan.
He's
They're
come
too
a
good at
long
actors.
way, in my opinion.
I know.
Like, cause I didn't like as Bucky. He was just like, because that's the first thing I've ever seen him in.
That was the first thing I saw him in too.
Yeah, and then he just
And he
started
was like
crushing
or
it.
he was Tommy Lee, and then he was Donald Trump, dude. Did you see that? I didn't see that.
I heard
movie,
about. Yeah, I heard that movie got buried though.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I don't
obviously
know
it did
why.
get buried because. Yeah,
Yeah.
we heard about it recently.
Anyway,
Anyways, Florence
I
Pugh.
was like, Florence Pugh is like acting her ass off in this movie, and I'm just like, I wanted to like call her on the phone and be like, "Hey, I appreciated what you were doing in this movie. I enjoyed your performance. Don't I hope they're paying you enough money. Like that's all I'm saying is like Marvel better be paying her the money because without her, I feel like this movie kind of like just kind of sucks. She's the better Black Widow, honestly.
Did she keep the Russian accent?
Yeah, but it's kind of lighter now. I feel like they're working it off. But I mean, No, maybe they're not, but it's
It
not
was
that
it
bad.
was
You
it
get
was
used
it
to
was
it.
pretty. No, I mean she did it okay.
She's good at accents.
Yeah, usually everybody who's not an American does an accent pretty well. So it's like like
Yeah,
Elizabeth
yeah.
Olsen. Yeah, Elizabeth. Well, because I mean Elizabeth Olsen, they she did it and then they just kind of tapered it down until she spoke perfect English. And as far as her character went, but
That's true. That was a funny thing. I think they just did it over like one
well,
movie.
in the first one, it was obviously super thick. In the second movie, it was significantly less. Like it was like certain words, and then by the third one, she was speaking normal.
Can you just talk normal,
Yeah,
Elizabeth?
you know
Can
what?
we just
Just stop.
just drop it completely? Can you just
Just
drop it? Can I just hear your voice? Thank you. Okay, action. Yeah, that'd be great. No, I think Florence Pugh nailed it in terms of believability. It was, actually, this movie's like a 7 out of 10, dude. This is not like the worst movie ever, but it's not like any. I think this movie would have been better right after Endgame. You know what I mean? Like a
when
little bit, a
what
little
is the
like
time frame of this? Like, what does it establish when it happened after the event after
it
Endgame?
had to have been after. I mean, it's right after the Hulk, this last movie, Brave New World. So yeah,
Okay.
like what was that? That was like yeah. So if you haven't seen, they do a pretty good job, and I mean it kind of stands out. They're like because they do the little like who they are in like a funny quip like. Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son, is like if you didn't see Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you wouldn't know who he is. But he plays like the government tried to make their own Captain America, and so they gave him the Captain America shield from the government, and so they call him in the comics U.S. Agent,
That's right. I
but
do
they
remember
don't
that.
call him
I
that.
didn't watch the show, but I remember you mentioning that in
But they don't call
previous.
him that in this. They just call him, which is fine. This is what you should do in these kinds of situations. They just call him his name, which is I can't remember it now. Walker, actually, I do remember it. But they do have like these moments where it's like, oh well, at least I'm not some dime store Captain America who used his shield to decapitate a man on live TV and then turned on the original Captain America who then fought him to a standstill and then and you know what I mean, they just draw it out a little bit and you're like, okay, I know who he is, so just shut up.
Oh wow. Okay. Anyway.
So you're like
Yeah.
at some point because they have to do that with like 4 different people because Florence Pugh, but then if you wouldn't know the ghost girl because she was like the bad guy
She was the
in
bad guy
the
in the
second Ant-Man.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't even remember her. So I kind of had to I'm like, oh yeah. And she's in it though. She's in the movie.
Yeah,
The
she I heard
Taskmaster though, they kill her instantly. Blow
Oh
her head
really?
off. The second she has one line and then blammo right in the head. And then
See,
they just kind of
well they fucked up Taskmaster. What movie was that?
yeah,
Oh, it was Black Widow. Duh. They fucked that up.
it was Black Widow,
Yeah,
yeah.
they fucked that one up by making
Which is a
her.
better movie than people give it credit for.
I thought it was
It's just that it
fine.
has really funny CGI movies or CGI moments,
But what
like that
sucked
part
it,
where she's blowing up.
it was unnecessary. Like if anything, Black Widow should have been a TV show.
It could have been a TV show, but it
Like it
also
could have
should
been
have been like
a mini series.
before Scarlett Johansson died in the actual MCU.
That fair enough. And they still haven't explained Budapest.
Yeah, but I mean, there's
No.
some things that we don't need to know.
I get yeah. At this point, who fucking cares?
I was gonna say I don't think Jeremy Renner I guess is getting like they try to get him back for Hawkeye season 2 for like half the money, and he's like, no, give me the amount for the first season or else I'm not coming back, and I don't think they're gonna get.
No,
it.
he should.
That's not
He
that
needs
funny.
to just he just needs to stop. It's done.
Jeremy Renner, but anyway, so. This movie is actually pretty good because it's kind of small, and that's why I'm saying if you had made this right after Endgame, where you have like everything's just so big, we need just a cool off. This would have been it because it the story is like Elaine Bennis is the new like which is Julia
Yeah, I
Louis-Dreyfus.
know who that
She's
is.
like the new Nick Fury to a degree, and she's like being like investigated by the government. So she's trying to get rid of all of her dirty secrets, and those include like the four people. The Walker, who is Wyatt Russell, and then Florence Pugh, fucking Ghost, and then Taskmaster. And so she
Wait,
like sends him to like one spot to get blown up, which I'm like, I feel like there's an easier way to do this. But yeah, what was that?
no, keep going.
But yeah,
Disregard.
so that's what sets it up. That's like I thought it was all going to be like in this one spot, and they were like going to be stuck there. But then it did kind of branch out, but it still stayed small, and I think that's what made it more enjoyable. So and then they introduced the Sentry, who was like one of the worst characters in comic books. So it's like they kind of changed it around how he came about. So I was fine with that, but it still didn't really wasn't very good. So
Who played the Sentry?
but it had a fun little who played Sentry. I don't know his name, but he was fine. It was supposed to be Steve Yeun for a while, who plays Invincible, but on the Amazon show. But
Oh,
it
it
just
was
I guess it didn't
Lewis
work out.
Pullman.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Bill Pullman's son.
yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh, okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
it
I was
is.
just
Yeah,
joking. There you go. Well,
he
he was
looked.
good. He was good as Bob. Like they don't call him the Sentry. They like well they do at the end, but it's kind of manufactured. Like the Sentry in the comics is just not a very well designed character. So like I would have been fine with whatever they did with him, and this was just fine. Like they just made him like a guy who took like the next version of a super soldier serum to make a superhero, and it pretty much just worked. The idea is that he's stronger than all the Avengers combined, which actually did have a good moment where he was like talking to Elaine Bennis, and she's like you do what I say, and then he's like, why would a god listen to you? And she's like, well, and he's like, well, you told me I'm stronger than the Avengers. I mean, there's a god on that team, so like, you know. And she's like, ooh, that's some solid logic. Got some solid logic to that one. But yeah, no, I liked it. And Sebastian Stan is like cool in it, although he's obviously wearing a wig, which I thought was weird.
Is he really?
David Harbour, what's up?
He's wearing a wig.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got the Winter Soldier wig on for this one. But David Harbour was fun actually. I thought he
He's
had
great,
some like
dude.
character moments with Florence Pugh, which and he was funny. I thought he had some funny like he was supposed to be the comic relief character, and he was like he comic relieved. I thought I enjoyed his moments. So
Well, that's what he was in Black Widow. Also, I mean, he was just
yeah, it's just comic relief.
he's just the
Although
dumb.
Rachel
the dumb
Weisz is
Russian.
never brought up. Like Rachel Weisz was the mom in Black Widow, and she's just like not ever brought up again. So whatever.
I thought she was
But
in the movie. She's listed as in the cast.
that's funny. She's not in the movie at all. So so there is like a really cool effect they have. So in the comics, the Sentry is like this superhuman. He's like Superman, but like a little bit better. But his kryptonite is that for every good thing he does, like there's a bad version of him called the Void that does like something bad, and they just keep like growing in strength opposite of each other until like the Void is like this all powerful being. So like and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of stupid. So the way they introduce him is the first thing that they show of the Sentry is clever. The way that he defeats the Void is that he gets people to forget about him and like he makes himself forget that he has powers. And so then the comic is him being reintroduced to the Marvel universe, and then like the Fantastic Four remember that the Sentry has always been around, and like the X-Men learn it, and like you know what I mean. Like it's one of those like, oh, I've been here the whole time kind of thing, but like no one remembers, and so it was kind of clever. But then
Wait, so the
what do
Sentry
you do with somebody? Yeah,
is also the Void?
yeah, he's the same guy. So in this movie, that's what. So yeah, in comics, he's usually given. There's usually like a separate entity that's like considered the Void.
Right.
In the this one, he is just the Void. Like they're one and the same. So like, and they have a really cool effect where they like when he like kills people, they just become like these smoke smears. Like they just like get blown away, and it's fucking cool, dude. I think it looked. They do it to a kid, like right in your face, like a little kid. I was like, oh, they're definitely gonna. That's gonna be shown to be undone later for sure. Because you can't do that to a kid in a Marvel movie. But there's some fucked up stuff. So this is what I'm saying was clever. The void is like spreading through like this little area, and like the people who get absorbed into it just get absorbed into this like existential like hell where they're reliving their like worst memories, and like it's pretty fucked up. And so like it's one of those this one's trying to be one of those movies with a plot with a theme to it. So like depression is a big thing, and like learning to rely on others to like get back out there, and blah 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 blah. It's one of those kinds of movies. And
Is
so
this
yeah,
is
it's some pretty
this
messed up stuff.
okay, so I just saw something.
Okay.
Did they change the posters to the new Avengers?
Oh, they are okay. So yeah, I should. So the name of the movie is Thunderbolts asterisk, right? So in the end credits, that's what the asterisk stands for. It's so in the movie, the Thunderbolts are Florence Pugh's softball team when she was a little girl. The when she was a kid, David Harbour keeps bringing it up that she was on this the something something brought to you by this air conditioning place, Thunderbolts. And so that's where it comes from. So all that stuff in the trailers where it makes it out like, oh, we can't call ourselves that, or we can't. It's all that's not even in the movie. It's just like they kind of joke about it, and then it becomes their thing. And then at some point, so at the end of the movie, Elaine Bennis tricks them into being the new Avengers, and so that's why. And then they become the new Avengers.
Hmm.
Oh, but then extra. So now this is where things are actually. So post credit. So yeah, this is where you could actually get some relatively interesting. Like, remember when the post credits would like lead to something? Like you'd be interested in what the post credit led to.
Yeah.
Although it is given away at the very so there's two post credits, right? Well, to agree, there's like a close one, but so you have to wait till the very end of the movie, and as I'm reaching the end. The credit for the very last song is the Fantastic Four theme song. So I'm like, wait, what? And so then the next scene is them watching the Fantastic Four rocket come into their universe. And that's the end credits.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's cool, but like I'm like, oh, you gave it away right there. Like I know it's gonna be.
Well, but you kind of knew that was gonna happen anyway, because it's like the Fantastic Four movie takes place.
I didn't know.
Well, you had to. I mean, you had to piece that together, because that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw the trailer for Fantastic Four. Was like, well, that takes place in the '60s or whatever time frame it is. So
yes.
So they would have to travel through time. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I'm wondering.
Put it at the end of Thunderbolts. Though.
Oh well, yeah, no, that either. I mean, I didn't know that either. I was just wondering how they were going to address that. But my thing is,
and here you go.
There you go. But my thing is like Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. Again, I when it comes to comic books, you know way more than I do. But the Ant-Man and the whole quantum realm and all that played a big part in the Fantastic Four. Is that right? So is Ant-Man done? Are they done with Ant-Man? And they're just going to do something different?
I don't know what they're going to do with Ant-Man. Well, see, Hank Pym and...
Because they can't be. They can be, because they were going to use him for Kang, obviously. But...
Yes, they were going to use him for Kang. See, the problem with Hank Pym and like Ant-Man and stuff is that in the comics, Hank Pym's a piece of shit. Yeah. And nobody likes him. Yeah. So... They were kind of smart to do Paul Rudd as like not Hank Pym. He's like the next one. Although I don't know enough about Ant-Man to know if Scott Lang is in the comic books. So I'm sure he is, but
it's funny though.
I think that what's up?
Is the Kang Dynasty was supposed to be released like at the beginning of this month.
What? No, that's funny. Yeah. That's hilarious.
I saw that and I was like, oh.
Damn.
Yeah. We're supposed to be into the fucking Avengers movie right now.
Well, and then, so that damn, talk about forcing your hand. They're like, all right, we need Robert Downey Jr. back. We need him to
Rob, what are you doing?
Do amazing things. We need him to be,
we need him to save the entire fucking franchise. Well, but what are they going to do with
How
Galactus? How are they going to just be like? Well, I mean, I understand, being an RDJ.
I'm excited for Fantastic Four for that exact reason. How are they going to do Galactus, and how do they sneak Doctor Doom in? Because that's how they're sneaking him in.
Oh, that's definitely the post credit, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. He's attached to the rocket that flies in, and I don't know, but I just man.
Well, he's going to
somebody
be
over there is paying attention, because
he's going
you
to
can
be
do Doctor Doom so good, but if they don't, it's going to be so bad.
It's going to be, and I really think because again, I think we've talked about this months ago.
Yeah, a million times.
Is that there is a version of Doctor Doom who is Tony Stark?
Yes, and it could be this one. They could be, because they do change a lot of the MCU stuff. Like, that's why I was saying with the Sentry in this, you could just change whatever you want, because it could be whatever Sentry you want from whatever multiverse.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I think that's probably what's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're saying. That's what I would do. I would assume that this Fantastic Four is going to be very unique. Well, not very unique, but like as unique as you need them to be to translate to the screen very well. Because I mean, I honestly, I don't see. They showed a little bit of it, but I can't imagine Pedro Pascal looking very cool, all stretched out. You know what I mean? Like stretchy powers.
That's kind of lame. It's Stretch Armstrong out there. Like,
yeah, I do like how the Thing looks, but I could see him being like I've seen people complain about how he kind of looks dumb. And I'm like, yeah, I guess
he's a giant fucking boulder. Who cares?
Rock
like,
man. Yeah. At some point, they all look dumb. All right. Well, it's a fucking cartoon.
They want him to look like the cartoon, because in the cartoon he looks
good. Yeah, I like it.
And actually, Michael Chiklis's Thing on spec looked good. The movie sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just not ready for.
Yeah.
It just looked weird still.
But how do you make a guy who's a rock look cool? I mean, anyways,
it looked cool in the trailers where he's like running through the little pillars and stuff. I'm interested because the Thing is like probably one of the most beloved Marvel characters around. I'd agree with that. What I mean? Yeah. But goddamn, it's funny when you say things multiple times. His name is the Thing. That's such a stupid name. The Thing, just the object.
You couldn't call him Rock.
That over there,
Rockman or
Mr. Fantastic. Oh, the fucking Thing. That's
and
that guy.
Thing.
Be like, geez, Reed, can I get a cool? Why'd you call yourself Mr. That's like your last name, isn't it? Like,
wait, is his last name Reed Fantastic? Richards. Oh yeah, I was gonna say
no. Yeah. So wait. So he's just chosen to be.
I'm Mr. fucking Fantastic.
I'm fucking great. You stupid idiots. Like the Invisible Girl, she can't be like. Well, no, I think they call her Invisible Woman. Never mind. But the Human Torch, and then the Thing. Like you couldn't come up with anything. Rockman. They're like, no, Mega Man had that locked down in Japan. I don't know, just that, whatever. The Hulk is kind of stupid too when you come down to it, but
yeah, but it's better than the Thing. I mean,
yes, it is better than the Thing. You're right.
I guess according to this quick Google search, who's Ben? Is Ben
Grimm is the Thing?
The Thing. I guess he referred to himself as that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, honestly, he's just
traumatized. He's been turned into a rock monster by cosmic radiation.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I'd give him time for his psyche to, recover, but whatever.
Okay, now that I'm looking at the Thing from the Michael Chiklis one, it's not that good.
That dude, you want to talk about a terrible movie? Those Fantastic Four movies are fucking terrible. There's a part where they make Jessica Alba just get naked for no reason, and then just like they're like, how are we gonna get past all this crowd? Oh, Jessica Alba go invisible, and then they literally just run around a truck and get to the exact same spot she is, and she's like, oh. They just wanted to make Jessica Alba have to wear some underwear.
Huh.
That was the 90s or the 2000s. That was a classic. Like,
well, that's oopsie. When she stopped acting.
She's like, I'm done acting. This is stupid.
Hey, a lot of those actresses that were like Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel,
that's true. They have stopped acting.
They just stopped acting because they were just like, basically they were the last of the ones where it's like, because in the 90s, like we talked about, we'll go down a little different vein here. It's just like, dude, there was just tits everywhere. It was like every woman was naked in the movie. Now you
That's
be
true.
you have to watch
I don't know. They got
Nora
some
or
of the more
whatever.
famous ones still get naked. Like Sydney Sweeney's been naked in her shows. Margot Robbie. Um,
Well, Roby did it
Florence
because
Pugh.
it was yeah. Yeah, but see, there was purpose for that in whatever that movie was called, Oppenheimer. And same thing with Wolf of Wall Street. And these are directors that are respected. It's not like you're going out
Actually, I
there.
guess Margot Robbie offered to be naked in Wolf of Wall
That's
Street. And
true.
Martin Scorsese's like, ah, geez, I guess if you want that.
Let me show the whole business.
Um, no, I agree with you though. It is a rare feat to do that. Although
Well,
I
it's
guess
also
Margaret,
it's
whatever. Let's
it's
not.
kind of unnecessary. Like
Let's not go
you could have made Wolf of Wall Street would have been fine if she had
yeah, with
not
no
been seen.
nudity,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah. Like you don't need it anymore. There's really no reason. Even in
No,
the '90s, you go back and look at it. It's like, do I really need to have a 3-minute sex scene? Like, why? You could just imply they had sex.
well, and this was this, and I actually just listened to Red Letter Media talk about Sinners too, and they said the same thing. Although they make fun of the prudishness of me. The amount of sex talk in that movie had me like going like clutching my pearls. I was like, oh, what cunnilingus, and you talk about putting your tongue in coozes and such. Come on, Haley Seinfeld, you better calm down.
I think that's an American thing, though, man. I mean, it's just, and granted, it would make me
Yeah,
feel
it is
kind of.
definitely
It is if I'm listening to it, like, really, like, is it necessary? And you have to. I guess you got to be in the mindset of the movie. Just be like, I don't know. It's a weird movie too.
The line is just weird. Her because I saw a clip of it. Her literal line is like, you stuck your tongue in my coos and then fucked me so good. And then Michael B. Jordan's like, shut up, baby, don't talk like that.
shut
Come
up,
on,
little,
don't say that so
shut up, little
don't
girl.
say that so loud in front of everybody. You're like, dude, chill out.
I don't know. It's weird that contextually how sex in movies and just in general in discussion. Like I have a friend of mine. We talk about that stuff all the time. Like I mean, well, I shouldn't say we talk about this stuff all the time, but when we do talk about it, her and I talk about it. It's like you know, it's like it's nothing. It's part of the subject,
Sure.
and you could talk about it freely. But when it's with a large group or people I guess you don't normally talk about it with, everybody cringes. It's just weird. It's
Well,
like
I mean,
no,
it's like they live. You know what I mean? It's just everything that it's always pushed on us hella hard. So it's like at some point you kind of go crazy with it.
well, but it's also just weird that like it can't be talked about freely. I mean, granted, I'm not going around saying like, yeah, I stuck my tongue in her pussy, da 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 da. It's just like,
Well, she said coos.
coos.
She's a
Hey,
classy lady.
we're trying to. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Which is funny because I didn't know that I forgot, like, in The Sopranos, that's what he calls his neighbor. His Cusimano he's like, hey, coos. Hey. And he's like, hey, Tony, maybe, that nickname. He's like, what is it? I really didn't know what that was. And then, yeah.
It's an old term. It's an old.
It's an old term.
Yeah, because that movie takes place a while ago. But that's such a weird one too.
Ryan Coogler was like, let's get some old school. Let's use the word cunnilingus.
Then what are? Don't they have beer koozies?
There you go. No, but
that's
yeah, I did feel like I was being a prude, and in terms because like it's not like I did, I'm not, like would I like to see Margot Robbie and Sydney Sweeney naked? Absolutely, but then like sometimes I'm like when I see like any woman in a movie, I'm like, oh, don't do it for this. Like, come on, sweetheart.
Well, I guess it's there's a thin line between crass and being crass and being artistic,
artful. Yes.
Yeah, and. I haven't seen Sinners yet, but the way you're describing it sounds like they were going more for shock value, which would serve the purpose of his movie probably. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like they were being crass for the sake of being crass.
I think so. Yeah.
And that's, but it also sounds like that's what her character was like when you described it to me. She was kind of, she was very.
She's like a tomboy, not a tomboy, but like she was, aggressive and.
She wasn't like the stereotypical woman of the time where it was just like you're raw.
Because this one's stack. She's a big meanie. Although I still don't understand things like where I'm like, how do you force her to marry like some other person or yeah, whatever. Let's not go
Hey,
into that.
I'm thinking about even nowadays, man. I can't wrap my head around half the shit that goes on with people.
Well, yeah. But like, there's like a weird thing where like in that movie where she's like, he like set her up to be married with somebody else that would like take care of her, but, like a white person, because he's like worried that
Well, she's
being
white.
associated with black people. Yeah,
Yeah,
but she's like
exactly.
she's like an eighth black
I
though.
know, I know, I know. We've established. What I'm
And it
saying.
back no. Hold on. Back in those days, that shit was like if you could prove that on like somebody like you could fuck them over back in those days.
This
You
is
had
true. Yeah,
there was
this
like
is true.
a policy where like if you even had like a touch of like any sort of ethnicity to you, you could be like fucked over by the government. So
Oh no, for sure. I get that. It's like if you were, back in the day, if you had any amount of Jew in you when you were in Germany.
yeah,
Yeah,
excellent.
like Hitler did, which apparently nobody knew.
They had to add dude. It's actually interesting. I learned this in the racism take to graduate college, but
They
they
taught you
did.
racism.
Yeah, they taught you how we
Taught
did
you to be
racism.
racist.
Well, how like we started like really figuring out the races, like because we just had to be extra. We had to know. We had to really figure out racism to like be racist properly because we were. It was all about like voting and stuff, and so like you'd have like white people and then like black people, and then they were like, oh well, what about black people who look white? And they're like, okay, non-white black or non-black white people or something. Or wait. You see what I mean, though? They started like, and then they're like, oh, well, what about these Chinese fellas? Like, we don't know. And then they added Asian, and then you see it just started making the list bigger and bigger and bigger.
No, for sure. I was just watching this clip. It was Ari Spears, and he was talking to this. There's this big black guy sitting in the front row, and he's like, what's your background? And he's like, well, I'm Welsh, Polish, and French. And he's like, man, a cop will beat the black out of you, no matter what you are. Because he was a really big black dude. He's like, you ain't French, Polish, and he didn't look any of those things either. But it goes to that too, because it's just like, well, he probably is French, Pole, but I mean, on the surface level, he's black.
And there's a difference between race and ethnicity too. So like that, and it's tough because the fact that we've displaced like an entire culture, they don't even know most of the likely what their actual ethnicity is. You know what I mean? Like it'd be difficult to track their travel from the South back to Africa. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, I don't even know if I'm like Nigerian or something. Like maybe I'm Kenyan. Who knows? Like that sucks. So we've kind of like invented race to like account for that. You know what I mean? It's a very strange phenomenon.
It is because they were just saying that like there really is no race. It's just our bodies. We invented it, and our bodies just adapted to the climates that we lived in. Essentially, is what they were saying. Like,
well, yeah, that's what I mean, and that's you could argue that's speciation too. But we're not scientists. But I mean, but that makes sense. Like where
since when did we need to be scientists to make up anything?
That's fair these days.
Yeah,
but I it's 100% right, and so like it's just stupid that we had to like invent race to be racist to be racist, but it's really to just make sure that we have a ruling class rather than
exactly
just being like, oh, we're all equals. So
it was just a psychological thing
to have. Yeah, exactly. To have like so. On that note, I want you guys to go out there and just love your fellow man. Like no matter what race, ethnicity, whatever. You know what though? If they're hyper religious though, you could tell that person to go fuck themselves. All right.
Yeah.
You tell them to shove that Scientology up their ass or their Mormonism or whatever the fuck they're doing. That one, I'm giving you full reign. You tell them to just fucking blow, dude. Just fucking put an egg in their fucking shoe and beat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Do not accept that shit for 1 second, but everybody else be cool with. All right. So thanks for listening. You have a wonderful night.
Was I supposed to be recording?